On this episode, I lose my muffler again.
And we teach a class of photography to kids in Spanish. My wife and I are on a motorcycle trip through Mexico, Central, and South America exploring culture and food. So bring an appetite for adventure because we're hungry riders. So we said goodbye to our stalwart buddies that we made on the ship, and we went out for our last dinner together, and that was fun. And
yeah, we really made some good new friends. You know, we'll be in contact with them for years to come, I'm sure.
And yeah, we said goodbye in the hostel, and it was everyone's packing up at the same time. Some people were still waiting for insurance.
Right.
But we hit the road, and as soon as we actually were riding through the city, we could really feel a difference for South America and Colombian-style driving.
The traffic is way more aggressive. There are no lane markings because they don't matter even if they were there. You just fit into whatever gap you can get into, regardless.
Yeah, turning wherever you want.
From wherever you want.
Yeah, it was a little crazy. But yeah, we made it out of town, and we came across one of the first toll crossings. This is a new country. You're never really quite sure how it's going to work out. I've heard that they're really motorcycle friendly in Colombia, but we weren't sure when we pulled up. And
so we went into the normal car lane, and then it turns out, no, you have to go out and around, because as a motorcycle you can go through this tiny little path.
You have your own lane basically for motorcycles.
It's about as wide as a sidewalk.
And it's totally free, which is great compared to like when we were going through Mexico, where it was
Same
$50
price
a
of
day
car.
for tolls. So that was nice.
Yeah. So and then we headed out to Taganga, which is a little fishing village, which has turned into quite a touristy little town. So we did some more diving there.
We'd heard this was a really great spot for diving. It's another different part of the Caribbean that we hadn't been to, and it's closer to Venezuela border, which is also known for its really good diving. And on this dive, we saw all kinds of different fish.
Yeah, we saw eels, trumpet fish,
angelfish, boxfish, and I saw a puffer fish, which I don't think I've seen before on a dive, which is pretty cool. But it wasn't puffed up; it was just running away basically. And then there's all kinds of the filter worms, basically.
Yeah.
And Serafina enjoyed swimming up to them, and you could make them hide basically. And yeah, it was great. Lots of different types of sponges, and it was a really well preserved piece of coastline, and I would definitely recommend it for diving.
Yeah.
And this was our last chance to experience the beach, because after this we're going to be staying in the mountains primarily, and we're headed to Bogota.
Yep. And motorcycles are super popular here. We came across so many of them just going around town, not so much as a long distance thing, but we saw those too.
Yeah, free tolls, gas is relatively expensive, so it's very efficient.
Right.
It's the right mode of transport for Colombia, I think.
It was. And as we were going down the highway, we just came across this big line of trucks that was just stopped in the road.
It was just outside of a town.
Right, and we couldn't see ahead what was going on, so we were stopped there for a little bit, and then we noticed that all the other motorcycles were just going right past on both sides. So we decided to do the same thing.
Yeah, we opted for the inside shoulder of the road, basically, and I am really glad that we did. The traffic was completely stopped again. Like, you're not going to be able to go through. I don't know, we'd saved probably an hour by not waiting in line.
Such a long line. I don't know why.
It's just trucks slowly going through town, I guess.
And some of them stop and then block the whole road. But yeah, I'm definitely glad we have motorcycles. That's fun.
Yeah, you don't want to have a car.
And on our way into Bogota, we were still on the freeways, and my muffler fell off again. But we noticed it this time fairly quickly.
No big deal.
Look back around,
let it cool off. Bolt it back on. Loctite it this time.
Right.
And we're good to go.
Yeah. Hopefully that won't be happening any more times.
No harm done.
Yeah.
And we made it into Bogota, and here we're meeting contact through Muskoka, Mariana. This is one of those local partners from Muskoka, and she works with kids in one of the smaller towns about an hour outside of Bogota.
Yeah, so we were on our way out to that town, and she had met us in Bogota, the city, and she was just going to take a bus back, but we said, hey, we have room, so she hopped on the back,
She
borrowed a helmet.
Yeah, borrowed a helmet from her dad, and we gave her a ride to San Xavier is the town we're going
And
to.
as we were trying to find our way to San Xavier, my GPS, it looks like a fairly direct way, no problem.
Just getting out of Bogota.
Yeah, but Mariana was yelling in Aaron's ear, no, don't go that way, go this way, go this way. but it was hard to hear, so we just ended up following the GPS anyway, which is kind of a mistake.
Yes, this was the wrong way to go to get out of Bogota.
It looks like the most direct way, but it's also the most heavily trafficked
because
way.
It's one that all the trucks take. So basically, we're just surrounded by giant semis crawling through the city.
Whereas the locals know that there is another route where trucks are not allowed to take, and so that one flows way more smoothly. But so it took us like an hour longer than it should have taken.
And no way around these ones right around the side.
Right.
There's no room for it.
But we made it. We went through the mountains, some fog and stuff.
It was a nice little ride.
Made it out to San Xavier.
And just in time because we were teaching a class like that afternoon. Basically.
Right. So this was the photography workshop that we've told you about before. We've asked you to send cameras that you weren't using, and we got a great response. These kids received those cameras.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sending those. They're in a good place now, basically.
Yeah.
They're going to be used in teaching kids photography.
Yeah. And so I put together a little PowerPoint presentation with the help of Muskoka. They gave me a foundation to work off of. I translated it all into Spanish, and then we basically we held one workshop each day of the week, focusing on basic photography techniques for maybe about a half an hour, and then we would go outside and put those techniques into use.
Yeah, it was really fun walking around the town with the kids, seeing like what they're interested in taking photos of, trying to apply the techniques that we just taught them.
Yeah, and then we'd come back into the classroom and load all those photos onto the computer, show them how to do that as well, and making new folders and that kind of thing, organizing them, and then seeing how the photos turned out, if it worked out.
Yep, and reviewing them. And we wanted to get a body of work basically for each kid because we're going to have a photo exhibition at the end of the week.
Yeah, and so we did that. We printed out their favorite photos they'd taken, three per child, and we hung them up on the walls, and their friends and family came, and
they really wanted to take a photo of their picture in the background, like with their family. They're really proud of their work. It was really fun.
It was.
And on the same day of the photo exhibition, there was actually another Muskoka volunteer,
Danelle
from Phoenix.
Yeah.
And she was doing like an art project with the kids. It was kind of one of those things where they're going to talk about their future and things they like to do and what they, how they're going to, what they're interested in. And it was really cool to see part of that art project. They put like knowing us and like learning photography.
Right.
It was pretty fun.
So one of the kids that we were volunteering with, her family works at a sugarcane farm. And we just happened to be there at the right time to see, she invited us out to see the harvesting process, what they call molienda.
Yeah, and we got to see the whole process, and we got lots of good video of it. But they end up with something called Panela.
And if you want to see more details on that whole process, we're going to put up a motobite that shows it in more detail. It's really interesting. I'm really glad we got to see
And there's a bunch of good photos of it as well
on my Flickr page, yeah.
And here's the final product, and try tasting it. It's basically like a brown sugar, but it's not super refined. It's still very raw form, so there's going to be a lot more, vitamins and minerals. This is a fermented cane juice drink that's been fermented for a few days, and it's kind of sparkling. It's good. I can see why it's kind of a refreshing drink. So while we're volunteering here through Muskoka, they actually gave us a place to stay. They gave us some food. And it was really cool. It was a nice break from writing all the time, kind of more of a family atmosphere. There's some people running the place, and the lower level is kind of used as a community center. This is where we did the workshops with the kids. It's where we actually stayed. And the upper level is actually an old folks home, and they take care of some of the people that live locally that no longer had someone to take care of them, basically.
Yeah, and like you said, they give us meals too every day, and so we got to try some local fruits that we hadn't really experienced before.
Granadilla. Carentes de algunos nutrientes que son importantes para el buen funcionamiento del cuerpo humano. Hablamos, por ejemplo, de vitaminas, de oligoelementos, de minerales, de aminoácidos,
very sweet,
componentes importantes
crunchy seeds,
que muchas veces
very slimy.
el cuerpo
sí, pero hemos debido poner.
I've had this a few times so far. It tastes very similar to perfectly ripe kiwi. After a week in San Xavier, we head back into Bogota to get our bike serviced and do some couch surfing.
Yeah, and on the next episode, we try our freakiest food yet and head out into the mountains for a party.
And until then, you can follow our whole trip at hungryriders.com.
See you next time. You want to hold it.
Yeah. Just put that in your mouth and bite down. And just crunch it up. Just crunch it up real quick.
Too big.